Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite and welcome back to Harvest December. This is Maternal, as in September. We've done our part. It was an email from Kohai. I thought about sending him a message to poke fun at them, but then decided it was against my better taste. So we are, fixed on first person on Masaki again. It's a little disconcerting the way that the points of view keeps jumping around. I've been saying that since, like, the beginning. But, anyway, better get going. I made a phone call to Mikami. I climbed Kami Mountain with the rucksack packed to the brim. I still hadn't recovered from the previous day, but muscles were sore. I didn't have a clue how much Mizuho intended to eat and drink from the numerous trips I made to the shrine. On the way, there were towels tied to trees and ropes tied to rocks. There were marks so people wouldn't lose their way since the mountain looked different each time it snowed. But preparations were almost complete. It was all up to me now. I looked inside Mizuho's natural refrigerator to find ice cream embedded inside. Our preparations for the party were almost done too. This is bad. The shrine was littered with bags, and it was obvious previous people that had brought up goods decided it was enough to leave that. And it was obvious that previous people that brought up goods decided that it was enough to just leave what they had brought on the spot. I keep looking at Windows volume every time I hear the sound off, because I'm afraid that it's going to have muted itself again, but it hasn't so far. It appears that there is just quiet right now. I found some empty Raptors on the floor also. It wasn't my place to say this, but Mizuho can be pretty careless at times. I didn't want to begin a party by cleaning up, so I decided to tidy up a little now. First, I separated the food from the drinks. Then I cleaned up the rubbish. Since the weather could get nasty, I also mended some of the holes I noticed in the doors with cling film. Because of the incident last year, I took special care to reinforce the cling film with tape. Now that I had started tidying things up, I couldn't stop. I began counting the number of mats we had to lay out on the floor and checking the amount of paper towels we had. Maybe I should bring some more, I muttered to myself as I looked at the portable gas range on the table. The canister was a bit light. It would probably last a day, but I couldn't be too sure. I was sitting on my feet, and that's probably not a bad idea, and probably not a good idea. Unlike food scraps that can be buried in the ground, the flammables were dangerous and had to be carried back, so it made me think twice. Maybe another would be excessive. Remember what happened last year? Better safe than sorry. Yuki, it's been a while. Okay, there goes the music again. I don't know if it was not playing or if I just didn't hear it over myself talking. I wasn't surprised to hear her here. Mikami told me to take a walk here, but I guess she tricked me. She frowned a little. For once, I couldn't read her expression. She was holding a paper bag in her hands. You've lost weight. The child takes all the nutrients. How have you been? Terrible. A while back, Mizuho dragged me all over town in her patrol team. Now I'm climbing mountains carrying food. I haven't had much rest. You're weak, so think of it as a good opportunity to toughen up a bit. I'm fine. It's you that should be worried about yourself. Are you eating properly? I know you love drinking green tea, but remember that it doesn't aid in iron absorption. Are you eating foods that are easily digested? You're fussing like my mother. Her frown relaxed. I heard you fainted. Mikami-sama told you, did she? She's such a gossip. There's no problem now. I'm healthy. I'm going to be in labor by the end of the year. I took out my cell phone. Don't call her. You don't have to check on me. I may be weak, but you're a terrible liar. We both should be aware of our shortcomings. You're a smartass, too. If you were really alright, I wouldn't be hearing expressions such as mincemeat. I think I have a good idea what the situation is like. It's none of your business. So you don't mind the child dying, then? I have Mikami-sama and Dr. Manaka. I don't need you. Yuki was stubbornly rejecting my every move. I think you got my message. So I tried a different tactic. There's wolves in town. They act as a sort of surveillance camera, don't they? Well, that was some sort of practice run for me. Did you see it? No. That's unconvincing if you have to look away. Shiro-sama and the others were excited about it, though. Looks like my message had effect on those it wasn't. Looks like my message had effect on those it wasn't intended for. Well, now that you are before me, I have to tell you I knew what I wanted to say. I was prepared. Everyone else had finished the preparations too. It all depended on me and Yuki now. I heard about this man called St. Nicholas that did charitable deeds, Yuki suddenly blurted. I was thrown off track. What? I was knitting the child some clothes, but I made a mistake. It's a mistake, a coincidence that it turned out like this, alright? She said as she rummaged in her paper bag. That's... Don't move. Yuki, this is called Christmas overseas, right? This is different music that I haven't heard before. Unless it was playing earlier when the volume was muted. It's nice. Anyway, I tried to reply, but she covered my mouth by wrapping the scarf around me. She was tying my words down. I watched her fingers move under my chin. I didn't look up. She didn't look up. Probably both. I can't believe it. The corners of her mouth lifted so slightly that only I would notice. She was smiling, but I couldn't see her face because of her head bent down. The slightly scratchy yarn went around my neck twice. You're such a coward you'd never be able to make a girl go through an abortion. That's pretty harsh. Well, no, I can't, but I can say it. That's what I can't get over. Maybe you'll never say it again. Maybe you've already said it once. But you've already said it once. Maybe you were testing me. But now that you said it out loud, the idea that you might be serious flickers through my mind. I'm terrified that you'd say it again. I almost said something to reassure her, but I held my tongue. Because I knew if I tried to make excuses now, she'd doubt me further. What could I do if I had no words, when words were all that I had? I'm sorry, I just can't stand the thought of having someone I love tell me to get rid of our child. She suddenly looked up with a tight smile. She looked tense, as if she was on the brink of tears. I'm being cowardly, aren't I? For a Towada woman. Look at yourself, what a face you're wearing. Yuki, your expression isn't any better. I knew what I looked like. My expression mirrored the girl standing in front of me. That's done. She stepped back. The ends of the scarf fell and dangled around by my sides. She turned to leave. I couldn't let her go now. I had to reach out and tell her. Goodbye. In a flash of white, she was gone. My hand grasped thin air. I was left alone. Nice try. I didn't remember what happened after that. Before I knew it, I was home in my room, standing in a daze. The scarf Yuki knitted me was prickly and warm. For no apparent reason, I undid it, wrapped it around myself, undid it, wrapped it around myself again. What are you doing, Misaki-chan? Yuki said. I hadn't even realized she had come into my room. Yuki ran away. And you're sulking over that? I didn't think I was. I wasn't paying much attention to Yuki. I wasn't sulking. I didn't feel anything for me or Yuki. I was simply stunned. So what are you gonna do? Help knock some sense back into me. Yeah! Triple block! Yuki, a regular in our volleyball team despite being a junior, spiked me on the head and sent me flying. I hit my head on the wall and slid down onto my bed. There. Feeling better? Thanks, Yuki. You don't need me to console you, right? To console you, right? It's console. Consoles like video games. But yeah. But if I'm going to cry, she rejects me. But I'm going to cry if she rejects me one more time. When that happens, then I did it again. Console you. Yeah, please do. Yuki, I'm a bit sleepy. Sleep well then. I want to meet an energetic Misaki-chan tomorrow. She quietly left the room. My mind began to fog up as I dozed off. At the same time, another part of my senses was sharpening. Drowsiness and alertness alternated. I knew eventually sleep would win. I was physically tired from climbing up and down Mount Rakami several times. Before I slept, I called Mayoi. I said what I needed to say and turned the phone off. I closed my eyes. Only a few more days till the year ends. That was fast. Disunion. Alright. I'm gonna end this off because I've been trying to do one segment thing per video, but that was a lot shorter than the last one. The last one was like 45 minutes. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. My name is Dragonite, and I will see you all later.